Have you heard the latest Disneyland announcements? Welcome to the Disneyland Weekly Update. I'm David Vaughn, and here's the latest news for the first week of January 2023. First up, just before the start of the new year, Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve gave us a first look at the upcoming World of Color 1 show. The all-new Nighttime Spectacular shows the power that one person can have on the world around them. Films including Moana, Mulan, Soul, Pocahontas, The Lion King, Coco, Star Wars, and more will be featured within the production. It'll launch with the Disney 100 celebration on January 27th and is scheduled to play nightly. Personally, I think this show looks incredible and I can't wait to see what Imagineers have done. I really hope that they've created a show that we can watch over and over again, because that's the fun of these Disneyland Nighttime Spectaculars. It's fun to go see them again, show new friends who haven't seen them, and I really expect this to be an elevated experience. Or at least maybe that's just my wishful thinking, but let's do it. Second up, Disney Genie Plus sold out several dates in the last week of the year, and the pricing was at $30 per person. So it's still sold out even at that price point. Now, again, if you're not familiar, Disneyland changed how it does Disney Genie Plus pricing. It's now variable depending on the day that you go. Typically, it's either $25 or $30, which we've seen at the highest. So we'll see exactly what happens as time goes on. But honestly, I don't think that we're expecting to see Disney Genie Plus selling out on most states. Some of these dates, it sold out by like 10:30 a.m. This is really incredibly unheard of. They will only do this on dates that are incredibly busy and popular, and really it's only happened during this past week. I don't expect it to happen, like say if you go during spring break or even during the summer. So if you're planning a future trip, I wouldn't worry too much about it, but if you want to play on the safe side, just make sure you purchase your Disney Genie Plus in the morning. Third up, Sweethearts Night sold out all 7 of its dates for 2023 before the end of the year. It sold out in a record 3 weeks. Clearly, this party is becoming more and more popular as time goes on, because it only started with a couple of dates. Now it's up to 7, ranging from January 31st through February 16th. It's Disneyland's Valentine's Day party. It'll take place after park hours. I have another post on it if you want to check it out, but again, it's sold out this year, so I will be posting some more content to keep you posted on how to best experience the night, as well as if you're missing out and just want to see what's going on. Fourth up, Mickey's Mix Magic will return with dates starting January 9th. We'll have projections and lasers during the week, with fireworks added to the show on the weekends, Friday through Sunday nights. This will go all the way up until January 26th, because on the 27th, we have the new fireworks show, Wondrous Journeys, debuting at Disneyland Park. I'll have more about that show in an upcoming update. Also, last week I reported that Fantasmic was off the schedule. However, good news is Disneyland did add more dates in January, so it's going to take a break from January 9th through January 27th and only play on the weekends, Friday through Sunday. We also may see additional dates added during the week, maybe towards spring break in that first week of April, but we'll have to wait and see. Then in the rumor mill, we had some blog sites reporting that they thought the Adventureland Treehouse was going to open on February 11th. However, if you saw that report, just know that it is not in reality. Some of these blog sites saw that Disneyland took the Tarzan's Treehouse off of the closure schedule beginning February 11th. I think this may have just been a lapse in when they posted for that attraction to be open. However, shortly after, Disneyland added a note that Tarzan's Treehouse was still expected to close on February 11th. I think that we're gonna actually hear it from Disneyland before we hear it about it on the calendar. I also kind of wonder if Disneyland is going to tell us far in advance, or if they'll just kind of quietly open the Adventureland Treehouse. And the reason being is there's just not a lot of capacity that can be held on that treehouse, and I can only imagine trying to manage everybody trying to get on the treehouse, trying to see it at the same time. This is really something that's pretty low capacity, kind of a casual attraction the guests like to just kind of stroll through, climb up into. I would be very curious if they just kind of tell us like, hey, it's open now, and then people will just be able to go there if they're on that day. And I think opening on a Saturday like February 11th would have been pretty insane, and I could only imagine what the lines would look like for this attraction. So we'll see what Disneyland does. Then in downtown Disney, Ralph Brennan's Jazz Kitchen is going to close for refurbishment beginning January 9th. Currently, we don't see how long it is closed, but the Jazz Kitchen Express window also closes the 9th, and it's expected to open on January 24th. So when I asked Jazz Kitchen, they said that they do expect to be open by February. This is part of a transformation of downtown Disney that's going to see a more modern, a kind of mid-century modern take on the shopping district. So we've already seen that a lot of the sort of New Orleans type of Bourbon Street look of Jazz Kitchen has already been removed, so I'm sure there's just some internal stuff that they have to do. They have to close down the restaurant in order to make it happen, but I do expect that they'll want to be open by Mardi Gras, so we'll see exactly what happens then. And before I show you the last one, if you don't want to miss out on the latest Disneyland news, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also make sure you hit the alerts. That way you get updates when I post a new video. And last but not least, the 2023-2024 Run Disney event season has been announced. And as we've heard before, Run Disney is headed back to the Disneyland Resort. The Disneyland Half Marathon weekend will take place from January 11th, and it'll include the 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, and a challenge. The challenge will be the 10K and the marathon combined. All participating guests will also receive a medallion. Just keep in mind that this does not give you entrance into the Disneyland park, but we also don't have pricing yet. There's a lot of unknowns, but here I'll fill you on some things that might come for this marathon. First up, this is the first time that Disneyland has done this race since 2017, so it's been quite a while. But if we base it on old maps, we can see what Disneyland may have in store for some of these races. So traditionally, we did see that the 5K would start just outside of downtown Disney, run around through the back, head through Cars Land, and then come through parts of Disney California Adventure, all the way up and around into Disneyland Park. We see it in Disneyland Park, racing through parts of Tomorrowland, Fantasyland, Main Street USA, before going back through downtown Disney and finishing up at the Disneyland Hotel. In 2017, the Disneyland 10K also took guests on a very similar route. However, as you can see, it does start and finish in the same location, but it winds a bit more through Disney California Adventure, going through parts of Pixar Pier and also all the way up into New Orleans Square in Disneyland. So there's a bit more added to this race, of course, to make it a lot longer because it is twice as long as the 5K. But if you want to do the most impressive race, the half marathon that's offered at the Disneyland Resort, you'll see here that it does start and finish in the same locations. However, this one goes all the way across Anaheim, all the way out to the Honda Center and through Angel Stadium before racing all the way back to Catella and heading up back to the Disneyland Hotel. Now, of course, these races haven't been confirmed as official routes for the 2024 one, but if we base on what we think could happen at these times, it's probably going to be a very similar route depending on what they can work out with the city. Pricing should be announced soon, but the Disneyland Resort Half Marathon weekend will go on sale to the public on February 14th. You can purchase yours through runDinsey.com, and I want to know, what theme would you like to see this year? The last one was Pixar, so what do you think? Should we do Marvel, Star Wars? What do you want the theme to be this year for Run Disney? And again, my name's David Vaughn. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.